Girl, if you do not stop, you will break. I know it's just the middle of the year and you have a whole lot of things that you want to still get done. You have a list of things to achieve, but I'm definitely sure that you do not want to achieve burnout, exhaustion, and brain fog, and that constant feeling that, oh, I wish I could just quit. That's not normal. And then when we see these corporate girlies who always look cute and they have energy, you ask yourself, where do they even find the time to do all of that? In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can avoid having to burn out and reach your wall every single time you feel like you want to achieve something, especially now when you're in fatigue is going to settle in. And no, it does not take 2 hours for you to do the self-care and the self-love and the self-preservation, maintenance and recovery that you need to make sure that you're always showing up and glowing as beautifully and as best as you possibly can, always coming up with the best ideas and having the same energy that makes you absolutely sparkle. It's just gonna be 5 things. It's gonna be super short and super cute. Let's get into it. The other day I took a walk through the V&A to have some time to myself, for myself. I don't always get the opportunity to do this, but when I do, it's always super beneficial. It helps me clear my head and get clarity as well as new, fresh ideas for the things that I need to do. The best part is that it actually only took me 15 minutes. And that's when it dawned on me. It doesn't always have to take 2 hours to love and care for myself. There comes a time when every single machine has to be taken off the production line. It completely stops and it gets worked on. This work is called maintenance. It does it before it is broken. And during this process, we get to check what is working, what is not working to make sure that it can get back into the production line, working as best as it possibly can. Now I know you don't have to remind me, you don't have to tell me, you're not a machine. I get it, right? But if machines can have some time to stop production, to be worked on, checked on, and brought back to a level of output that it makes it better, or it keeps it working longer and better for a sustained period of time, then what makes you think that you don't also need to be worked on? So working on yourself is not only just beneficial to you mentally, it is also emotionally. Girl, have you been getting sour lately? You're not really realizing what it is. You're not really liking your boss as much as you used to. That toxic environment has become twice as toxic as it usually is, and most probably the reason is because you haven't taken the time to work on yourself as much as you really should. This is part of the personal care and the personal love that we need to give to ourselves. And yes, the terms of self-love and self-care have become so overused that we tend to think that maybe we don't need it because it's way too popular. But they're popular for a reason. We need it. And I'm going to tell you how you can do it in just 15 minutes. You're not that busy, girl. If I was to see how much time you spend on social media, doom scrolling, content that's not helping you as much as you think it is, I'm pretty sure that we can find that little 15-minute gap just a couple of times a week for you to give yourself the type of love that's going to make sure that you're not only in a good mood, but you're producing at a really beautiful high level. First and foremost, I'm going to get water and rest out of the way because yes, it sounds so corny. People say it all the time, but let me tell you now, if you're not drinking enough water, you're not going to poop as often as you need to. And if you're not resting, then you're going to be angrier than you have to be. It's the truth. Water doesn't just lubricate, it washes out, it cleanses, and then after that, it hydrates and we glow. Okay, we're wondering why we're so droog and so dry and so as human beings. It's because, girl, you haven't hydrated. And then when you don't sleep, you become short in terms of your emotions and your temper. Your ideas aren't as amazing and brilliant as they are. You become forgetful, and we tend to run on this autopilot level where people know you're brilliant and you know you're brilliant as well, but you're just not performing at the level that you need to. It's because you don't sleep. So yes, it is corny. I'm getting it out of the way now because I've got 10 times better for you waiting in the other points. Number 2 is that maintenance and recovery are 2 completely different things. And I'm going to get into that in my next point. But what I want you to know is that you should find your own personal style of doing it. We all take care of ourselves in different ways, and you have to find your signature way. I love journaling, but you don't have to. It's like writing in a book with an actual pen and paper is not going to work for me. It could be meditation for some people, right? They read a word, you sit in the garden and think about the word of God. That could be the thing that you like doing. It could be a 15-minute walk like what I was doing through the V&A. It could be that you like running, going to the gym, but maintenance and recovery, two different things, but you don't have to do it the way that other people do it. I'll give you a little secret. Somebody that I know and I love loves to take very long baths. He literally does. As opposed to taking a 15-minute shower, take a 30-minute bath with some Himalayan pink salt, right? Pink Himalayan salt, some oils, and some bubble bath to exfoliate as well as have some antioxidants through your body to then make sure your body is moisturized in a certain way. That might not be maintenance, but it's a form of you recovering so that your body can feel it. You can also have some alone time and switch on the candles. This all seems very airy-fairy, but the truth is that you don't invest in yourself enough for you to see the results of self-care. If you knew what happens when you put back into yourself, how brilliant you are, how happy you are, how more flexible you are when challenges come your way, your mind is right because you've gone through the word of the Lord this morning, because you are taking the time to maintain and to recover. I don't think I say this often enough, but I really appreciate that you watch my channel. But here's the thing. I've seen that less than 14% of the people who view this are people who've seen and heard of me before, and the rest of you aren't even subscribed to my channel. So please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Give me a big thumbs up because it helps me reach more people. My oldies but goodies, share this with the rest of your friends so that we can all come back and build this better life and show up as our best selves in our lives. And if you're new around here, I'm really happy to have you with us, gorgeous. And I hope that I continue to see you. Let's get back into the conversation. So let's get into those definitions. Number 3 is maintenance. You do have to do maintenance. Again, 15 minutes. Maintenance is the process of you looking at what does and what does not work. Like I said, I love journaling. So what I do on a regular basis is just debrief with myself in the evening. I don't do it every day, but probably 3 times a week. I debrief and I say, what did I do today? And I write it down and I just take bullet points so I understand like kind of what's going on. It gets the clutter out of my brain, right? And then I look at it and say, this didn't go well. This I don't want to do again, or this I want to try and make it better. So if you do not take the time, this is like a 5 to 15 minute exercise. If you do not take the time just to ask yourself, what went right today? What did not go right today? What's been working for me lately? What's not working for me lately? You're going to keep doing things that are self-deprecating. You're going to keep doing things that are actually not good for you. They keep taking away your energy. They keep making you angry. And because you haven't taken the time to say, why am I angry? You're just going to keep doing those bad things. You're not going to know, so you're just going to keep making the same mistakes. So that's what maintenance is really taking a look, taking that machine off production. So this is not during work hours. This is not when you're busy. This is not something that you multitask with. It's 5 minutes on your phone, when you're on the pooper, you know, when you're alone in the car, when you come back home and you just take 15 minutes in the car, just note what's working right now, what's not working right now, and why. What am I going to do about it? That's maintenance. Then we get into number 4, which is recovery. Now, rest and recovery are different in that rest is actually switch off, right? And you sleep and you rest, you cool down. There's a point where you sleep long enough that your body starts to recover, right? We'll get into that in another episode. But recovery is pouring back into yourself the things that you might be losing over time, especially throughout the week. I tend to find that a good gym session where I'm throwing a medicine ball gets my anger out. It's my form of recovery. But for some people, recovery might just actually be treating yourself with something good. Recovery is doing something that adds back what has been taken away. It brings it back to where it was in a deficit. So to recover means that you are fixing, you are repairing, and you're bringing it back to a good state, which means that you have to know where you have been pouring out, or where you have been doing too much, or where you have been hurt, so that you're not just only putting the band-aid on it, you are actually restoring it back to where it was. What are the things that are taking from you, and how can you pour back into yourself? Some simple things that I like to do is I like to give myself gifts and rewards. Small ones like dark chocolate for something, or taking myself on a solo date, because I need to de-stress and decompress. It does help me recover, especially when the kids have been a lot. So what is it that you can do that genuinely it makes you happy? Other things that I like to do sometimes, again, 15-minute activity, is to paint. or to color in a coloring book. It just makes me happy for some reason. And it pours back into me. It's not a one-to-one thing. It's just, I've poured out all week into these things. And when I do this one thing, it puts back joy. It puts back wonder. It gives me something I'm fascinated about. Something that gives me energy. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make sense to you. And again, it's not something that has to take 2 hours, but at least once a week, recover intentionally. Number 5 is in how do you work it into your routine? It's a 5 to 10 minute thing that you can do every 1 to 2 days. If you can do it every day and you can be that consistent girly, please go ahead and do it. But if you can do it at least 3 times a week, you will start to see a mental shift, then an emotional shift, and then a physical shift. If for anything, a bubble bath once or twice a week might make that skin glow a little bit better. Do you know what I mean? But all of these things are ways in which, again, maintenance doesn't feel like it's this huge thing, but it's going to avoid breaking down. And I think that's worth it already. Taking 15 minutes 3 times a week to make sure that I avoid extreme exhaustion, burnout, having brain fog, just the unhappiness that I'm feeling, piling up the anger. What can you do to decompress and de-stress? That's the maintenance and the recovery that you need to do once or twice a week. Small changes that have a huge effect on your life, especially now in the middle of the year with mid-year fatigue. We've still got a lot of year ahead of us. But if you can get to the rest of the year and feel the energy and feel the love and feel so amazing about yourself, imagine the results that you're able to get. Would that bonus be a little bit bigger? Would you be able to reach your KPIs and then get some incentive? Would you be better in your relationship? Would you show up better as a mom as opposed to being, constantly short and angry with the kids? There are a lot of benefits to doing something that's really tiny, but you have to see that this small thing has a huge effect, therefore it's worth me investing in. Take some time to actually think about all the things that happen because you don't take care of yourself. And then imagine a life where that doesn't happen. That's a beautiful life, and it's a life worth fighting for. That's all I have for you, sis. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of How I Do Things. In the next video, I really want us to continue talking about personal care, taking care of ourselves, and really operating and functioning at a higher, better level, not for other people, but for ourselves. So let me know down below, what is currently blocking you from showing up as your absolute best in the things that you want to show up as? In your friendship, in your marriage, in your workspace, in the dreams that you want to achieve. Let me know how you want to show up and what those barriers are so we can have a conversation about how we can break those down. Until the next How I Do Things, gorgeous, I will see you then. Bye.